Start.
Yes. Hello, everyone. My name is Adriana Mendoza-Ree. I am honored to present our project, a positive education-based tutoring program for enhancing student well-being and action-based research proposal with elementary school students, along with my colleagues Johana Reyes, Marcos Ruiz, and Ana Gabriela Caballero-Vilchez. Education in the 21st century faces an evolving rapidly with a strong emphasis on emotional well-being, digital competencies, and resilience. In Peru, changes impact both the educational practice and the student well-being. Though educational reforms, like Loe says, are across Latin America, emphasize the importance on active methodologies that combine cognitive and social-emotional building skills in holistic development, the Peruvian Ministry of Education has been working on improving an educational quality that addresses issues such as academic stress and low self-esteem. As described by Cabanas and Gonzalez, it represents the fundamental shift in educational purpose towards a pursuit of happiness, acquiring both the practical and formative significance in the Peruvian school system. This trend underscores the key indicators of student growth, quality, success, and well-being. Positive education integrates well-being and happiness into learning. According to Wang, by supporting the pillars of positive psychology, it can strengthen both the academic performance and the social emotional development that aligns with current educational policies, such in Peru. Positive education programs can focus on employing evidence-based methodologies to improve students' mental health and psychological well-being, according to Wilbo in 2021. This study emerges from the consideration of integrating positive education and promoting educational well-being, happiness, and interpersonal relationships. The purpose of the study looks for the feasibility of adapting a positive education-based tutoring program for primary school students in Peru. Our theoretical framework goes along these three topics: interpersonal relationships and positive education. Adler mentions that student-centered learning fosters resilience and positive emotions, as well as Deng Lim and Min talk about how strengthening interpersonal relationships can reduce conflicts and enhance academic environments. As far as self-awareness and happiness, both Shaiko Chang and Heltzman talk about how character strengths and positive emotions can be essential for happiness and goal setting, emotional well-being, and self-esteem. Greer and Esser talk about how early intervention can boost long-term well-being, as well as Berger and Mortimer talk about how positive education can enhance self-esteem and motivation with social interaction. Our methodology was an action-based research which goes along 4 phases: planning, action, observation, and reflection. Our approach lies, rather than being a distant observer, we play an active role in the process within the educational environment to adverse any changes that could happen. Our instruments that we used were systematic observations with students, analysis of student products, a semi-structured focus group, a pre-test, and a post-test. Our context was conducted in a private school in La Molina, Lima, Peru, with our final sample of 18 students, 11 girls and 7 boys, showing key challenges like low empathy, low teamwork, and emotional regulation. Our interventional tool that we used was based on a Finnish program called See the Good, a scientifically validated approach aimed to foster positive emotions and recognitions of character strengths, integrating into a tutoring and student well-being sessions conducted over 3 weeks with a weekly activities and guided reflection. In our methodology of planning, we looked for general and specific objectives which established an alignment in this tutoring program. These objectives were self-awareness, self-esteem, and interpersonal relationships, where they could develop and recognize their character strengths. We used our validity and ethics through a confidentiality agreement signed with the school and the parents, as well as a specific agreement established with the use of the materials of See the Good. As part of our action in our methodology, the implementation scheduled span of 3 weeks with sessions conducted twice per week, each lasting approximately 30 minutes. This adaptive approach was employed to ensure all students felt included in their emotional needs and were addressed effectively. The overarching goal was to create a flexible and responsive learning environment. In week 1, they went over their self-awareness through character strengths. Week 2, they were building self-esteem through goal making and goal achievement. And in week 3, they were working their motivational interpersonal skills through teamwork, respect, and empathy. Then we went on to observation, where we looked at comprehensive data collection, such as the anecdotal records from the teachers, student discussions, and a portfolio analysis. We used a pre and a post test to measure the growth in self-esteem, self-awareness, and interpersonal skill. And we saw how students improved in their self-perception and peer relationships through their work products. Finally, in our reflection, we looked at the critical evaluation, analyzing the pre and post intervention outcomes using indicators of observations of the ongoing adjustments and strategies to meet students' needs, as well as personalized learning and inclusive environment, being adaptive to a strength-based approach, seeing the use of See the Good cards fostered supportive, equitable classroom climate where students progressed individually as well as collectively. The results. In our pre-test, it served as a baseline measuring the identification and application of character strengths prior to the intervention. Now, as you can see here, it shows a high level of all of these areas, but these are previous to application. Figure 3 presents an initial demonstration of their identification before the implementation. The results of the pretest illustrate a progress achieved in areas of the 3 dimensions that we worked through. Our post-test results. These results demonstrated that 80% of students were able to identify at least 3 personal strengths in the first week. The program successfully maintained a high level of self-esteem among 11 students who demonstrated confidence in their abilities and greater willingness to participate in academic and social activities further than our investigation had presented. After the 3-week intervention, we can see that the post results show that 9 students maintained high levels and another moderate level of self-awareness. So that one maintained the same along from the pre-test to the post-test. As part of our discussion, we can see here that these quotes illustrate a deeper self-reflection. Students learn to recognize their strength in action, whether it be in math, creativity, or relationships. Like Hugland and Sang have said, it's these things support exercises, build emotional well-being and confidence. In the area of self-esteem, one student set a goal to manage distractions using her strength of self-controls. This showed how students not only internalized the concepts, but also began to apply them proactively. As Kim and Sai mentioned, short interventions can indeed build self-esteem. In part of our interpersonal relationships, these experiences show real evidence in empathy, cooperation, and conflict resolution. The results are in line with the finding that Tika, Montugi, and Martinez and Gomez say that it emphasizes the role of emotional intelligence and SEL programs, social emotional programs, in enhancing social interactions, although a balanced focus with a cognitive skill is necessary. We were able to see here that students were actually being able to internalize this and apply them in the moment of the participations. As we did in interpersonal relationships, they did a group activity that they were able to share those different strengths within them. In conclusion, positive education has showed a promise in fostering key well-being dimensions in our young learners. Even in a short time, students grew confidence in empathy and self-knowledge. Future implementations should extend over a longer period to deepen impact, but this program represents the powerful research-based way to transform a classroom for the better. We were able to see that Peruvian children are not only capable of engaging with positive education, but they embrace it and begin to reflect meaningfully on their identities and relationships. We would recommend a 27-week version of this program that could allow students to explore each character's strength in depth, leading to deeper personal development and a long-lasting impact within the context of the Peruvian country. Thank you very much. You can scan our QR code to look for our references or our tools that we have used along this presentation.
Okay.